video, we're going to discuss what a lot of dog trainers uh, tend to say, a lot of the good ones, and I think I have to disagree with it. Um, and I'll tell you a specific example of why or where I think this is untrue. So, the big thing that trainers say is that dogs live in the moment, which, when they say that, I interpret that as dogs do not remember. Uh, Dogs do not take a backlog of what happens. And I don't, I mean, that common sense would tell you that that is not true. They remember what happened to them tomorrow. Excuse me, what happened to them yesterday will affect today and tomorrow and so forth. This is why there is essentially behavior modification, because their behavior, due to their past experiences, or their past experiences shape their current behavior. Dogs do not live in the moment. And so the two biggest things that I come across with my clients are, one, can I be angry with them if they peed, pooped, or chewed the house up when I was gone? Can I show my displeasure to them? And the answer is you don't have to. I mean, you can, because they will remember why they're currently sulking in the corner when you come home. They're currently, when you walk into the house and they peed and pooped in your house and chewed up the daggum couch, and they are moping in the corner or moping around, that means they remember what they did, and they know that it was wrong. So it's okay, in my opinion, to show them your displeasure for that. Okay. The second one is a big one that I get all the time. And people think that dog fights, happen out of nowhere. And I'm here to tell you that they don't. And I'll break that down for you. Every time I talk to someone who says that, I go over these certain questions, and oftentimes 8 out of the 10 questions are all similar across plenty of people. So across plenty of people with their dogs say the same things. So I'll just give you an example. If you have dogs that are fighting in the home, and again, this is how I know dogs don't live in the moment, because they remember. If you have dogs that are fighting in the home, there are agitation moments that happen that the dogs make a backlog of. And then when you think the fights don't happen out of nowhere, it's because the dogs are thinking about what happened previous to that fight. So, for example, here's the most common one. You got two dogs fighting in the home. How they act when you walk through the door, and they're both fighting for attention. Not literally fighting, but, trying to get in front of one another for you to pet them. That is an agitation situation where both dogs can kind of be like, hey, get out of my way. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. And that can add up. Okay. Another one is, that's the biggest one, is fighting for attention. The other one is barking. If one dog is super barky, and the other dog is trying to control that barking, then that can also be an agitator that could result in a fight in the future. So those are kind of like the two biggest questions that I ask. But overall, again, the biggest one is fighting for attention. If you have two dogs that are fighting in the home and you can't figure out why, it should be your goal to distribute attention when they deserve it, not when they ask for it. Because again, they'll just annoy each other. Here's another one: going in and out of doors. Sometimes there's a competition between dogs going in and out of doors. Sometimes the most assertive one will come out of the door and look right and stand there and wait for the other dog to come out and then start jumping on the dog. That's also something that can result into a fight, along with resource stuff like, you know, having bones around and food around and whatnot. But dogs fights do not happen out of nowhere. Dogs do not live in the moment. They do remember, and what they experience in the past will dictate what their future behavior is. Now, here's something that may speak to the truth, a little bit of truth to what that myth is dogs want to move forward from the past. Sometimes we put way too much emphasis on what they've been through, and it gets in the way of progress, because dogs will try to remain comfortable as opposed to go through training, where training can sometimes make them uncomfortable because the exposure to the things that they're insecure about make them uncomfortable. Dogs like us, we prefer comfort. We don't want to put ourselves out there. And so sometimes you'll see a little bit of resistance trying to move forward. But if we keep them there, then they stay insecure. Okay. So that's just a little video of today. For today, it really helps for dogs, or for people who have dogs that are fighting, and or again, the next biggest question I get is it okay to discipline the dog after you've come home and found that they've chewed up your couch or peed and pooped in your house? And the answer is yes, you can. Any questions about that? I agree, bro. There are signs and preventative situations. There is, definitely. This ain't no physics class. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, yeah, that's about it when it comes to dog fighting and living in the moment. Use your instincts. They are okay, and they need you to also be genuine with how you feel about them. And you'll know that you're putting too much pressure on the dog if the dog becomes unbalanced. So there's always a balancing act. You want to give space, but you also have to stand your ground. All right, guys, that'll be it for today. Dogs don't necessarily live in the moment. Their past experience does matter, but don't let that hold you back from getting them from that. All right, guys, don't forget to like, share, comments. I am going to be coming up with a sort of training manual that you guys can purchase if you like. I'm going to break it down from step 1 training to a fully trained dog. And so anticipate that coming. But for now, I'm going to be making these videos every weekday around this time, around 3 o'clock, 3:15-ish. All right. So like it. If you liked it, like it. Please subscribe and share if you like. See you in the next one.